Welcome to Military History Inside Out, covering wars and battles from across the globe and across the ages. Today's episode is a dramatized performance based on a historic battle.
Warning: offensive and violent language used for educational purposes. Listener discretion is advised.
Thank you, and enjoy.
Today's battle. The Battle of the Bulge, December 16, 1944 to January 28, 1945, part of World War II. First point of view, introduction and chronology of events, the Germans. The view from Berlin. Special broadcast, Großdeutscher Rundfunk. Date, December 16, 1944. Achtung, Achtung! This is the Greater German Radio Network with a special bulletin of the utmost importance. Citizens of the Reich, soldiers of the Wehrmacht, the hour of destiny has struck. For months the enemy has boasted of his inevitable march upon our sacred soil, believing the German spirit broken and our armies shattered. Today the world bears witness to the genius of the Führer and the undying resolve of the German soldier. A colossal blow has been struck in the West. Unternehmen Wacht am Rhein, Operation Watch on the Rhine, has begun. In the early hours of this morning, under the cloak of a heavy fog that has grounded the enemy's boasted air superiority, our panzer divisions have erupted from the Eifel Mountains. The arrogant Americans, resting in what they foolishly called the ghost front of the Ardennes, have been caught completely by surprise. The terrain which the enemy believed impassable for heavy armor in winter has become the highway of our vengeance. Our glorious Königstiger, King Tiger tanks and Panther divisions are tearing through the narrow snow-covered roads, pushing aside the weak American defenses like dry leaves. Logistically, we have achieved the impossible. The enemy believed we had no fuel, no reserves. They were wrong. While our supply lines are stretched, we will fuel our advance with the captured stockpiles of the retreating enemy. Our new Sturmgewehr 44 assault rifles are giving our Volksgrenadiers superior firepower in the dense forests where the battle is fought at close quarters. The weather is our greatest ally. The heavy mist and low clouds, the Führer weather, have blinded the American Yabos, fighter bombers, neutralizing their terror from the sky. We drive for the Meuse. We drive for Antwerp. By splitting the British and American armies, we shall turn the tide of this war and secure the victory that is our birthright. Stand firm. The Reich strikes back.
OKW War Diary. Timeline of the offensive. Status: urgent frontline reports. German perspective. The main days. The breakthrough. December 16 to December 20. December 16, 1944. 0530 hours. A symphony of steel. 2,000 German guns open fire simultaneously across the 80-mile front. The earth shakes as the initial barrage pulverizes the sleepy American positions in the Losheim Gap. The surprise is total. 0600 hours. Forward, stormtroopers. Our searchlights flicker off the low clouds, creating artificial moonlight. The infantry of the 62nd Volksgrenadier Division infiltrates the enemy lines before they can even reach their radios. 1100 hours. Panic in the American sector. Reports indicate the U.S. 106th Infantry Division is collapsing. They are surrendering in droves. We are bypassing their strong points and leaving them to wither. 1600 hours. The Iron Fist. The 1st SS Panzer Division, led by Kampfgruppe Piper, has smashed through the gap at Losheim. Their engines roar westward. Nothing stands between them and the Meuse. 2000 hours. Operation Greif's success. Colonel Skorzeny's Special Commando units, disguised in American uniforms and driving captured jeeps, have successfully infiltrated deep behind enemy lines. Chaos reigns in the American rear. They do not know friend from foe. December 17, 1944. 0700 hours. Victory at Honsfeld. Kampfgruppe Piper has overrun Honsfeld. We have captured dozens of American vehicles and crucial fuel reserves. The American logistical tail is being devoured. 12:30 hours. Incident at Bastogne. Near Malmedy, our spearhead encountered an American convoy. They have been neutralized. The enemy press will surely lie about this engagement, but let it be known, we take no prisoners who delay our advance. 2000 hours. Stavello is ours. Our tanks are rolling through the streets of Stavello. The Americans are fleeing in disarray. The bridge over the Amblève is intact. The road to the west is open. December 18, 1944. 900 hours. The panzers roll on. The desperate Americans are blowing bridges at Trapin, a cowardly act that only delays the inevitable. Piper turns north to Ladlais. We adapt and overcome. 1200 hours. Resistance at Elsenborn. The 12th SS Panzer Division is meeting unexpectedly stiff resistance at the twin villages of Rochereth-Krinkel. The American 2nd and 99th Divisions are fighting fanatically. We must bypass this ridge to maintain momentum. 1500 hours. Bastogne in sight. Panzer Lehr Division is racing toward the critical road junction of Bastogne. The Americans are rushing reserves to the town, but they will find themselves in a cauldron of fire. December 19, 1944. 1000 hours. Mass surrender. A glorious victory in the Schnee Eifel. 2 entire regiments of the U.S. 106th Division, over 7,000 men, have surrendered to our forces. It is the greatest American surrender since Bataan. 1400 hours. Wiltz captured. The town of Wiltz has fallen to the 5th Parachute Division. The road to the south is opening up, exposing the flank of the American defenders at Bastogne. 2200 hours. The noose tightens. Our forces have begun to encircle the town of Bastogne. The 101st Airborne Division is trapped. They are cut off from the world. December 20th, 1944. 600 hours. St. Vith siege. The 5th Panzer Army is hammering the defenses at St. Vith. The Americans are dug in, but they are isolated. We are shelling the town into submission. 2100 hours. Bridge at Houffalize. Our engineers have secured the vital bridge at Houffalize. The 116th Panzer Division, Greyhound, is crossing and driving west. The siege and stalemate. December 21 to January 1. December 21, 1944. 1400 hours. Parker's Crossroads. A small American unit holding a vital crossroads near Barracks de Freitur has been annihilated by the 2nd SS Panzer Division. The way is clear for our armor to push toward Marhay. December 22, 1944. 1200 hours. American arrogance. Our honorable demand for the surrender of Bastogne was met with a crude American reply, nuts. So be it. We shall pulverize the town into dust. The artillery barrage redoubles. 2300 hours. St. Vith fallen. The strategic road center of St. Vith is firmly in German hands. The Americans fought stubbornly, but they have retreated. The northern shoulder is breached. December 23, 1944. 900 hours. The skies darken. A curse upon the weather. The fog has lifted. The Allied Terrorflieger swarm the skies like locusts. Our supply columns are under heavy attack. We must move only by night. December 24th, 1944, Christmas Eve. 2000 hours. Christmas on the front. The Führer sends his greetings to the troops. We celebrate with meager rations but high spirits. We are deep in enemy territory. The Meuse is within reach. December 25th, 1944, Christmas Day. 300 hours. The furthest advance. The 2nd Panzer Division has reached Celles, just miles from the River Meuse. We can smell the water. We await fuel to make the final jump. December 26th, 1944, 1645 hours. Setback at Bastogne. Traitors and bad luck. Patton's tank forces have punched a narrow corridor through our lines south of Bastogne. The encirclement is technically broken, but the battle for the town rages on.
December 27th, 1944. 1000 hours. Southern flank pressure. The American Third Army is throwing wave after wave of tanks against our southern flank. We are shifting the 1st SS Panzer Division to meet this new threat. The advance west is pausing to secure our rear. January 1st, 1945. 800 hours. Operation Bodenplatte. The Luftwaffe rises like a phoenix. Hundreds of our fighters strike Allied airfields across the Low Countries in a massive surprise dawn raid. We have destroyed hundreds of their planes on the ground. 2300 hours. Operation Nordwind. While the Americans focus on the Ardennes, we strike a second hammer blow in Alsace. The enemy is stretched too thin. We attack toward Strasbourg.
The fighting withdrawal, January 2nd to January 28th. January 3rd, 1945. 800 hours. Enemy pincer. Large American armored columns are attacking from both the north and south. They aim to cut off the tip of our advance. The fighting is fierce in the snowdrifts. January 8th, 1945. 1200 hours. Strategic realignment. The Führer has ordered a consolidation of our lines. We are conducting a fighting withdrawal to trap the overeager enemy. We make them pay in blood for every meter of snow. January 12th, 1945. 600 hours. The Eastern Storm. Reports from the Eastern Front indicate a massive Soviet offensive has begun on the Vistula. We must preserve our panzer divisions for the defense of the homeland. January 15th, 1945. 600 hours. Houffalize secured. Our rearguard action at Houffalize is holding back the pincer movement of the Americans. We are extracting our elite panzer units to fight another day.
January 17th, 1945. 1200 hours. Retreat to the east. The order has been given to withdraw the 6th Panzer Army to Germany. The campaign in the Ardennes is concluding. We retire in good order, taking our wounded with us. January 22nd, 1945. 900 hours. Weather worsens. Blizzards cover our tracks as we pull back to the Eifel. The Americans struggle to follow through the deep drifts. January 25th, 1945. 1800 hours. The heroic defense ends. We have returned to the lines of the West Wall. We have inflicted massive casualties on the enemy and delayed their invasion of the fatherland by months. The German spirit remains unbroken.
Second point of view, the Allies.
The view from Schaeff. Special Bulletin. Allied Expeditionary Force. Date December 17, 1944.
Chafe Press Officer, BBC Relay.
This is a special bulletin from Supreme Headquarters Allied Expeditionary Force. Citizens of the free world, we interrupt our regular programming to bring you grave news from the Western Front. The dying beast of Nazi Germany has lashed out. Yesterday morning, under the cover of dense fog and heavy snow, Field Marshal von Rundstedt launched a massive counteroffensive in the Belgian Ardennes, a sector previously quiet and known to the troops as the Ghost Front. 3 German armies, supported by the heaviest concentration of artillery seen since Normandy, have struck a thin line held by battle-weary American divisions sent there to rest. The situation is fluid and confused. The enemy is throwing everything they have left into this desperate gamble. Their new 70-ton King Tiger tanks, V-weapons, and elite SS formations. They are utilizing the terrible weather to ground our air forces, preventing the 8th and 9th Air Forces from bringing their might to bear. The terrain is a nightmare of freezing mud, steep ravines, and narrow winding roads. Our boys are fighting in sub-zero temperatures, many lacking winter overshoes, digging foxholes in frozen ground. Logistics are critical. The Red Ball Express is straining to redirect tons of fuel and ammunition from the north to the south to meet this threat. But let there be no doubt, General Eisenhower has ordered reinforcements to rush to the breach. The 101st and 82nd Airborne are moving out. The line will bend, but it will not break. We face a dark week, perhaps the hardest of the war. But the courage of the American GI is the rock upon which this German wave will crash and break.
Chafe Communique. Timeline of operations. Status, urgent operational dispatches. Allied perspective. The shock and confusion. December 16th to December 20th. December 16th, 1944. 800 hours. Breakthrough reported. All hell has broken loose in the 8th Corps sector. The 99th and 106th Divisions are reporting massive infantry assaults and heavy shelling. Communications are cut. We have reports of German paratroopers dropping behind our lines. 1400 hours. The Tiger tanks appear. Forward observers confirm the presence of heavy German armor. This is not a local spoiling attack. This is a major offensive. General Bradley is moving the 7th Armored Division from the north to intervene at St. Vith. 1800 hours. Confusion at Versailles. Supreme Commander Eisenhower realizes the magnitude of the attack. He orders the 7th and 10th Armored Divisions to rush toward the Ardennes. The reserves are committed immediately. 2300 hours. The skies are empty. We are grounded. Heavy fog blanket covers the entire front. We cannot see them. We cannot hit them. The infantry is on its own tonight. December 17th, 1944. 800 hours. Race for St. Vith. The Combat Command B of the 7th Armored Division has arrived at St. Vith just ahead of the German columns. They are digging in to hold this critical road junction.
1000 hours. The Malmedy Massacre. Horrific reports are trickling in from near Malmedy. Men of the 285th Field Artillery Observation Battalion have been gunned down in cold blood after surrendering to an SS unit. This is murder, not war. The troops are outraged. Word is spreading. No SS prisoners.
1600 hours. The 82nd and 101st move out. The Strategic Reserve has been released. The Screaming Eagles and the All-Americans are rushing toward the sound of the guns, in open trucks. Their destination, a vital road hub named Bastogne. December 18th, 1944. 1100 hours. Holding the shoulders. The 1st Infantry Division at Elsenborn Ridge and the 4th Infantry Division in the south are holding firm. The German advance is being channeled into a narrow corridor. We are squeezing the Bulge. 1400 hours, spy panic. Security is tightened at all checkpoints. Enemy commandos speaking perfect English are reported in our rear areas. General Eisenhower is confined to his headquarters for his own safety. Passwords are being checked rigorously. Woe to the GI who doesn't know the capital of Illinois.
December 19th, 1944. 1100 hours. Eisenhower at Verdun. General Eisenhower has met with Patton, Bradley, and Montgomery. Patton has promised the impossible. He will turn the Third Army 90 degrees north and attack the German flank in 48 hours. December 20th, 1944. 1000 hours. Command restructure. Due to the German wedge splitting our lines, General Eisenhower temporarily transfers command of all American troops north of the Bulge to Field Marshal Montgomery. This decision is controversial, but necessary for coordination. 1400 hours. The fortified goose egg. The defense of St. Vith has formed a horseshoe-shaped defensive line, absorbing wave after wave of German attacks and buying precious time for the rest of the army to form a defensive line behind the Somme River. The defense and relief, December 21st to January 1st. December 21st, 1944, 2200 hours. Withdrawal from St. Vith. The defenders of St. Vith, having delayed the German timeline by days, are ordered to withdraw to the west of the Somme River. They have performed a miracle of delay. December 22nd, 1944, 1300 hours. Nuts. We have received word from the besieged pocket at Bastogne. The German commander demanded surrender. Brigadier General Anthony McAuliffe replied with a single word: nuts. Morale among the paratroopers is sky high despite the cold and lack of ammo. 1500 hours. Patton attacks. The Third Army has begun its drive north. The 4th Armored Division is spearheading the assault to relieve Bastogne. They are fighting through blizzard conditions. December 23rd, 1944, 1000 hours. The sun breaks through. A miracle. The fog has lifted. The sky is blue. C-47 Dakotas are dropping tons of supplies into Bastogne. Thunderbolts and typhoons are hammering the German columns. The roads are becoming graveyards for panzers. December 24th, 1944, Christmas Eve. 2200 hours. Christmas Eve message. Brigadier General McAuliffe wishes the defenders of Bastogne a Merry Christmas. In the field, chaplains hold services in the snow. The sound of silent night mixes with the distant rumble of artillery. December 25th, 1944, 1200 hours. The tip of the spear. The U.S. 2nd Armored Division has engaged the German 2nd Panzer Division near Celles. The Germans are out of fuel and are being decimated by our armor and air power. The drive to the Meuse is halted. December 26th, 1944, 1700 hours. Bastogne relieved. Lieutenant Colonel Creighton Abrams' tanks have broken through the German ring. They have linked up with the 101st Airborne. The siege is broken. The battered bastards of Bastogne are saved. December 31st, 1944, 2355 hours. Patton's order of the day. General Patton has issued a prayer for fair weather and orders to destroy the enemy. We are preparing to pinch the Bulge shut. The counteroffensive, January 1 to January 28th. January 1, 1945, 0930 hours. Attack on the airfields. The Luftwaffe made a desperate last gasp this morning, strafing our airfields in Belgium. They destroyed many planes but lost hundreds of pilots they cannot replace. Their back is broken. 1200 hours. The tragedy at Chinon. In a brutal clearing operation near Chinon, no quarter is being asked or given. The fighting is savage. The massacre at Malmedy is being avenged in the snow. January 3rd, 1945. 0800 hours. The pincer closes. The U.S. First Army attacks from the north, and the Third Army attacks from the south. The target is Houffalize. We will trap the Germans in the pocket. January 9th, 1945. 0900 hours. Bloody Tillet. The 87th Infantry Division is engaged in vicious house-to-house fighting in the town of Tillet. The German Panzer Lehr Division is fighting a masterful rear guard action. January 13th, 1945. 1400 hours. The Bulge shrinks. The British 30 Corps and U.S. forces have retaken heavy ground. The Germans are abandoning their heavy equipment. The roads are littered with abandoned Tiger tanks out of fuel. January 14th, 1945. 1100 hours. British link-up. Patrols from the British 51st Highland Division have made contact with the U.S. 84th Infantry Division near La Roche. The Allied front is becoming a solid line once again. January 16th, 1945. 0900 hours. Link-up at Houffalize. It is done. The First and Third Armies have shaken hands at Houffalize. The German forces are cut in two. The Bulge is effectively eliminated. January 23rd, 1945. 1000 hours. St. Vith recaptured. The U.S. 7th Armored Division has retaken St. Vith, the town they were forced to abandon a month ago. The symbolism is powerful. We are back where we started. January 28th, 1945. 1200 hours. Line restored. We have officially restored the front line to its position on December 16th. The Battle of the Bulge is over. It cost us dearly, over 80,000 casualties, but we have destroyed the last reserves of the Third Reich. The road to Berlin is open.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Military History Inside Out. Today's episode has been a dramatized performance based on historical events. Listeners are encouraged to research the precise details of the event covered. We welcome all comments, questions, corrections, or criticism of the episode on any of our social media links. On Instagram at Chris Alvarez War Scholar, on X at War Scholar, on Facebook at warscholar.org, and on Reddit at MHIO Podcast. You can also suggest battles that you would like to hear on the podcast. Visit warscholar.org for more social media and Discord community links. Please check back regularly for more episodes and provide likes where you can to support continued production of these episodes. Thank you for listening.